I, Gabrielle Crowley, and my classmate Patricia Butherus had the opportunity to work with kids with disabilities in the ESC classroom this summer. This presentation will tell you all about our experience and our thoughts about it. Arnold High School is located in Panama City Beach, Florida, and opened in 2000. The school offers many different ways to be involved. All of these activities, such as art and band, are open to the ESC students. The school's overall goal is for students to build character through the 8 keys of excellence.
We found out about this service learning opportunity from my sister Valerie, who works at Arnold High School in the ESC classroom. She gave me the number to Miss Sandra Kelly, who is the head ESC teacher at the school. Miss Kelly gave me a list of days that they would be doing the summer school and just told me to come in whenever and just make sure I give her a heads up whenever we were coming in. Gabby and I decided this would be a great service learning opportunity for us because it's in our community and they don't have as many teachers and volunteers during the summer as they do during the regular school year due to paras having other jobs they have to do during the summer. The summer program ran twice a week for the last 2 weeks of June, and then they took a week off for the first week of July, and then 2 more weeks in July. We decided to do the 4 days of June because Gabby had to go back to Orlando for one of her in-person summer classes at UCF. Each summer session ran for 4 hours a day from 8:45 to 12:45. We attended the 4 days in June, so we reached a total of 16 hours, and this is how we completed our 15 required hours for the Teachers in Action project. On all of the days that we attended the summer sessions, we helped out in the classroom by helping get activities set up, just monitoring the students, helping them whenever they required assistance, and things like that. On the first day of us being there, the students had to complete a summer scavenger hunt worksheet where they had to find various items around the classroom that began with each letter from the word summer. Some students were able to find the items on their own, and some we had to guide them there. And then one student, we had to put the items on the table, and they just wrote them down from the items that were on the table. The second day, the students learned all about money and they completed a coin coloring sheet. And Gabby and I also got to color one of these sheets, which was very fun to sit with the students and interact with them and help them out as they tried to identify the different coins.
On the third day, the students learned about kitchen skills. They learned how to fill salt and pepper shakers and how to safely and properly use kitchen utensils. They also were asked to complete a kitchen safety worksheet, which we were able to assist them in doing. On the fourth day, students used the skills they learned to make grilled cheeses. We passed out everything they would need and helped them when asked.
There were only 3 ESC students present on the days that we went since it's summer and they're not required to attend. The students ranged from age 17 to 20. All of the students were Caucasian and they all spoke English as their primary language. One of the students did know ASL. 2 of the students have Down syndrome, and the third student suffered from a stroke, which caused multiple disabilities, including intellectual disabilities, physical disabilities, and they have occasional seizures. All of the students were covered by the IDA because their disabilities are included in one of the 13 categories covered by the IDEA. Intellectual disabilities, which would be Down syndrome, and then multiple disabilities. Here are a few pictures of us teaching the kids about kitchen safety and then also filling in our coloring sheets when we learned about the different types of coins and how to identify them. The picture on the right is from one of our life skills lessons, which was learning how to fill salt and pepper shakers. And then the picture on the left is the students working on the computer, getting some free time while we took our break. Prior to this experience, Patricia, had already worked with a lot of these ESE kids when I was in high school because I volunteered in the classroom a lot. So I kind of knew what to expect as far as how to interact with them and everything, but Either way, it was still an eye-opening experience and really opened up my mind just a little bit more. And the part that was most impactful for me was seeing the relationships that these students have built with each other and seeing the way that they interact with each other in such a caring and loving way. Like one student kept telling the other one, I love you, and all just really sweet stuff that you don't normally see in a general education classroom. One of the ways this service learning experience connected to our course was through differentiated instruction. All of the activities that the students did, Miss Kelly had differentiated each of them for the student's learning level. For example, the coloring sheet, one student didn't need any assistance, another student required some help identifying the different faces of the coins, and then the third student who was working on her fine motor disabilities, we actually lightly shaded in the coins for her and she just filled in the rest. Another way this experience connected to our course was through the use of paraprofessionals in the classroom. There were only 3 students present, but they did have a head teacher, 2 paras, and then us, the 2 volunteers, every day. This was good because even though there's only a couple students, the students can get that one-on-one interaction that they need, and having multiple minds working in one classroom with these students is always very helpful. A third way this experience connected to our course was through creating a sense of community in the classroom. As soon as we walked in the room, we could tell that these students had built relationships with each other, and the students had built relationships with the teacher, and they were all built on respect. It was a very creative environment and constructive, and Miss Kelly worked really well with these kids and knew how to have fun with them, but also knew how to make them get to work. This experience was very eye-opening and will definitely be constructive towards how we build our classrooms and how we teach our students and what we'll use to facilitate the learning.
Civic engagement and volunteerism not only create a sense of community, but can open you up to new relationships. I think it's important that people with disabilities know that there are people who want to help them and care for them. In addition, I also believe service learning is very important. It really opens your eyes and makes you want to do more for your community. I would definitely encourage others to participate in service learning as it can be very educational and a great experience. Here's just a few final thoughts on our experience with the ESC kids this summer. I always knew I wanted to work with students with disabilities in some way. However, my passion for it has significantly increased because of this experience. I wish others knew how amazing these kids are, and I hope that I can teach others about them. I do consider ESC teachers the greater good because of their heart for these kids. Watching Miss Kelly interact with her students made me even more excited for my future in this field.
In my opinion, I think a lot of negative views about people with disabilities stems from just lack of information and ignorance. I think one way we could change this is by going out there and more proactively educating these people about people with disabilities because they're a lot different than what most of society conceptualizes them as. Overall, I think this experience was very eye-opening for Gabby and I. It showed us what an ESC classroom looks like and what it takes to be an excellent ESC teacher, which I fully believe Miss Kelly is probably one of the best teachers I've ever seen in my entire life.